Hello everyone, my name is Laurence Gendelman with Gendelman Law Group. I am a trust, estate, probate, and family law attorney out in Denver, Colorado. Obviously hiring an attorney is a big decision, so we're here to give you some tips and tricks to determine how you should go about that process. First, just to let you know, you can subscribe to our Facebook feed. It's Gendelman Law is our handle. It's also our handle on Instagram. And you can also find us on YouTube. We have a really great video there from just a couple weeks ago on how to control fees in your family law case and some of the tips that we provide to our clients when they are especially cost conscious of their case. Also, you can go to our website, gendelmanlaw.com, where we have a newsletter, and you can subscribe to that newsletter and learn a little bit about what's going on here and some of the different programs that we offer for the community. So, to our topic today, again, determining the right attorney for you and how to figure out who you should be hiring. The first step is figuring out what kind of attorney you actually need to hire. So there's different types of attorneys for different practice areas. Attorneys don't tend to do everything. So you'll have a family law attorney that might help with custody issues and divorce. You also might have bankruptcy attorneys that help when people aren't able to meet their basic expenses. Disability attorneys if people are looking for Social Security income or are no longer able to be employed. There are employment attorneys for wrongful termination, trust and estate attorneys when people have issues regarding death or when they're trying to do estate plans to protect themselves, protect their loved ones, etc. So the first step is figuring out what kind of attorney you need. You might not know what kind of attorney you need, at least at the start. So that's where, honestly, Googling is a fine answer. Go on Google and type in what's going on. I need a divorce. Who do I talk to about a divorce? I need to file bankruptcy. I was fired for being a member of some protected class. And see what Google comes up with, and you probably will get a decent answer there just to guide you as to the type of attorney that you need. The other thing that you can do is talk to friends. If there are other friends who have been in your position, in your situation, they might know attorneys who can help you, or they might at least know what kinds of attorneys that you should be talking to. Also, those people will probably be able to give you a referral. They may have met with several attorneys, some of which they hired or didn't hire. They might have a good experience or a bad experience to share with you. It's a good idea to talk to friends and family members when you're trying to figure out who you might want to hire. However, I would caution, I would not suggest talking to friends and family members generally for legal advice. That is something that attorneys such as myself see all day long. People talk to their friends and say, hey, this is what's going on with my spouse. Should I do this? Should I do that? What's going to put me in the best situation, for our divorce? They get advice and they get bad advice. It's important not to be taking advice from your friends as to what they should be doing, but listen to them about what attorneys they've been talking to or may have represented them in the past. One tip I would say is, Google is kind of the tool that everyone tends to go to if they don't have friends that they can talk to about these things. Google isn't bad. I use Google every day. But people who come up on the top of a search result in Google aren't necessarily good attorneys. It means that they have good search engine optimization, they probably pay a lot for it, and they know how to market on the web. They might be a good attorney, but they might also just know how to do good marketing. So coming up high on your search result in Google doesn't equal they're a good attorney. From there, if you find somebody on Google, that's great, but you need to do a little bit more research before you just say, this is the attorney for me. Don't be fooled by marketing or gimmicks or just really good search engine optimization. So when you do finally find a name of an attorney that you might be interested in because a friend referred you, or maybe you did find them on Google and you're convinced that their search engine optimization makes them a great attorney, go to their website, make sure that they're legitimate. So let's say that, someone who I helped in the past is talking to their friend who's going through a divorce, and they end up, having a conversation. I end up coming up. They say, hey, you should call Laurence. Well, the next thing that person should do, before they call me, go online, check out and make sure they have a website. See if they have reviews on their website. See if they actually are practicing in the practice area that you need them to be. Also, there are websites that rank attorneys. Now, some of them have their own sort of arbitrary ranking systems. Some have more solid ranking systems than others. I wouldn't focus on the ranking so much as just going there to get some information about them. You can find out what law schools they went to, how long they've been practicing, what areas of practice, what cities or counties they might serve. One is AVO, is a pretty popular one, avvo.com. Every attorney that's licensed has a profile on there, and you can go on AVO and you can find out more information, and there you'll see that reviews are often posted of attorneys, and it's a good place to learn more. Don't pay attention so much to the AVO rating or the AVO score, but look and see, are there other attorneys who are endorsing that attorney? Are there former clients who are posting there? What are they saying? Now, every attorney is going to have a bad review here and there. That's pretty normal, especially if they're a family law attorney. They're going to have unsatisfied clients. Most people will leave a divorce not feeling like they got exactly what they want. That's common. But what's the percentage? What's the proportion of unsatisfied clients to satisfied clients? If it looks like every review is good, that's probably not a good sign either. That means the reviews may be somehow manipulated or doctored. But look at what those negative comments more specifically are. Are there 10 different people who are complaining about the same thing? Are there 10 people saying this attorney is not responsive, or this attorney does poorly in court? That might be something to give you pause when you're trying to decide whether to hire an attorney or not. You don't need to hire the person with the perfect reviews, but find someone who looks like they're consistent, that maybe has 1 or 2 negative reviews, so you know that they're a real person who's getting real reviews, and that seems to be generally liked by their clients. First, also, look at the size of the firm that the attorney is with. Larger firms tend to provide different services than smaller firms do. Most family law and bankruptcy firms and trust and estate firms, unless you're really high asset, they're going to be small. But you'll get a different type of service from small firms versus larger firms a lot of times. For people, specifically, let's say divorce and custody, if you have really complex issues or very high asset or high conflict issues, sometimes larger firms can serve better in terms of having more resources for that. If you have a more simple and routine issue, smaller firms might be able to provide some advantages in terms of cost savings to you. Additionally, free consults. So lots of lawyers offer free consults. Lots of lawyers offer discounted consults. I would say overall, if you can get a free consult, why not? Go in there, take advantage, get a moment of a lawyer's time, whether it's 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and see what they have to say. But I wouldn't say that just because a lawyer doesn't do a free consult, that certainly doesn't make them a bad lawyer, and vice versa. There are a lot of very good lawyers and some of the best ones who will not offer free consults because they know that their time is very valuable and they have large caseloads and they're in very high demand. Generally, in law, I would say you get what you pay for. There are a lot of attorneys out there who are doing free consults because they have difficulty finding clients, and there might be a reason for that, and this is a way that they can. There are some attorneys like myself where I'll do more of like a 15 or 20 minute consult on the phone, but I'll do a very low and reduced cost in-person 1 hour consult. So then I have some opportunity to meet the client to determine before they really get financially invested if it's a good fit or not. So what I'm saying here is don't hinge on, this person will give me a free consult, I should probably go with them. A free consult doesn't make the attorney good. Fees generally, so when you're talking to these attorneys, find out what their fee structure is. Find out how they expect payments to be done. Are they expecting a $5,000 or a $7,500 retainer? Are they expecting a much lower retainer? Are they billing you every week or 15 days? How long are they letting you have to actually pay the bills? Do they offer payment plans? Those are really important questions to be asking up front. You don't want to get yourself into a situation where you can, let's say, make the retainer, but then you can't pay the weekly amount or the entire bill at the end of the month, or perhaps a trial retainer that might be due some number of days before trial. That tends to result in a rather poor relationship between the attorney and client, because the last thing you want is to be fighting with your lawyer regarding fees and regarding payments. Your lawyer is fighting, most likely, if you're dealing with litigation, all day long. And the last thing that they want to do is have to have any type of contentious discussion regarding billing and fees. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help the lawyer. You should be entering into a fee agreement that you feel comfortable with and that you are comfortable you will be able to continue making payments under or meeting the obligations of throughout the representation. You don't want a financial issue to somehow affect the relationship between you and your lawyer, and it's important that everybody be on the same page at the start. Two other things, I don't want to take up too much of anybody's time, but staff. Does the law firm have staff members? Specifically, do they have associate attorneys, and do they have paralegals and legal assistants that can assist on your case? You'll find with smaller firms, especially with solos, they might not have any other type of like non-lawyer legal staffing. Sometimes that can result, I think, in a higher fee for clients because there are lots of tasks that could be performed by people who will be billing lower amounts, but they don't have a staff member to be doing that. So let's say you have the attorney that's billing at $250 an hour for their time, and they're filing all of your documents for you, and they're doing all of your their mailings and whatnot. That's clerical work that sometimes won't be billed individually. It might be combined with some non-clerical work on your bill, but some of that could probably be done by a non-lawyer. You should expect there may be some things that your lawyer is doing that might be things that a paralegal can do as well, but if every single thing that could be done by a paralegal is being done by a lawyer, that might result in a bill that's larger than what you're expecting. So look for lawyers that have non-lawyer professionals working for them, like legal assistants, paralegals, and associates. Associates are attorneys that don't have ownership in the firm, that are usually less experienced. They're billing at a lower rate. They're also an invaluable tool for firms and a valuable tool for you as a client because they can be doing first drafts of documents that don't necessarily require the expertise of the lawyer. They also can be doing research at a lower cost. So you want to find firms that really are able to leverage your dollar as much as possible. And the last thing is you have to click with your lawyer. When you meet them, there should be, it's not dating, but there should be some kind of spark there where you say, like, I like this person enough that I trust them to be the face of my case, that when they go into court, I'm going to feel good. I'm going to feel like they're going in and they're making a good impression and that the judge is going to be persuaded by them, and I like that person. I like that face being the one that is representing me. If you don't feel that way, that might be, I would say, stop and figure out why. What is it about that person that makes you hesitant? Is it something that's legitimate? Is it something that actually might affect the outcome of your case? Or is it just a personality issue? Either way, you're going to have to work with this lawyer for several months, if not years, if you're going to engage them for your case, and you have to be comfortable with that. It's okay to do a little bit of shopping when you're trying to find a lawyer. I encourage people to meet with 2 or 3 lawyers that they've really decided these might be the ones for me. And I have told clients at the end of meetings when I can tell it might not be the best relationship, I'll give them names of people I think that might be better lawyers for them than me, or maybe they're more fit for their case, or maybe it's a case in a different practice area. That's also a good sign. If a lawyer is willing to tell you that they're not the right person, that in some ways that's actually a sign of a good lawyer as well. They know what a good relationship with the client looks like, and they know sort of what their bounds are, and that they're willing to give you a recommendation or referral to somebody else. In the future, if you need a lawyer, that's probably a good person to go back to if they're that honest and actually that interested in making sure that you get good results. So that's everything I have today in terms of my tips for choosing a lawyer. Again, make sure that you check out our Facebook page. Gendelman Law is our handle on Facebook and Instagram, and also on YouTube. Again, my name is Laurence Gendelman with Gendelman Law Group, and we'll see you later.